Yes, beautiful, beautiful music to my ears. A dull day, and then suddenly, hark, from the distance, comes beautiful music to my ears. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, an amazing sound, an amazing sound indeed. In fact, to some of you, you might wonder what I'm talking about. Well, I'm talking about exactly this. Listen to me and listen carefully, or better still, special little speaker here for you to boost the volume. Listen to this. Listen to the sound of an entitled bureaucrat seething in rage. The leadership class that have been put out and having on the second biggest checkbook in their gravy train walk out on them potentially. This is how it sounds. Stand by and marvel to the beauty of this music.
By the way, I've been wondering what that special place in hell looks like for those who promote it without even a sketch of a plan how to carry it safely. Thank you.
Yes, that's right. A special place in hell for those who promoted Brexit without any plan on how to execute it. So that's a little like saying, what is the nature of your wedding plans before the lady who is to be proposed has even accepted the proposal? How on earth can Germany please tell me how they're going to rebuild after the next World Cup, after they thrashed by every single minnow and thrown out as the worst useless football team in the world? Can they detail for me the rebuilding of Germanic pride and football after this event has occurred? Can they tell me now how they're going to do it? The people who voted for Brexit, the minute the Brexit actually won, and remember, this was something that was never supposed to win. The bookies had priced to 7-1. How possibly the day after Brexit could people that are not in power, not part of Whitehall, not access to all the legalese, not part to all the agreements, all the spaghetti bureaucracy that's thrown into them, have a detailed plan for an event that wasn't even supposed to happen in the future, the next day after it's happened? But there's a special place in hell for you not knowing how. There's a special place in hell for you for not organizing your own bloody funeral better. Didn't you know it was coming? At least that's guaranteed. Brexit wasn't supposed to happen. Yes, the sound of bureaucrats seethe. Let me just tell you, the sound of them seething should be music to libertarians' ears. This is the leak of the emotion that has been burning under, that they've been attempting to contain. This is the leak of resentment that you are going to stop paying them, like an embittered ex-wife that's always asking you for money, and you're now walking the door and will look to guilt you for the day you abandoned her to the wolves and left her on her own, and now she's out of pocket and her life is ruined because you took your checkbook and ran. You wanted your freedom and liberty back. You wanted to make your own decisions and were tired of being just, or the guy who wrote the check and had all these laws and rules on how it should go down dictated to you. You had your freedom taken. You had an EU army now come out when they swore there would never be one. You had a new legal supremacy that now generates how you should dictate. You've had your own local constituents and parliaments neutered for a super bureaucracy that revolves between Strasbourg for a week and Brussels in a big gravy train infested with lobbyists and corporatocracy, ensuring their rights, ensuring no competition from small and medium enterprises by a swathe of rules and regulations that go so far to dictate the bend in a banana. And yes, it is true. It did happen. For those that say the bend in the banana is debunked, what fruit should look like. You pay 8% more than if you traded directly with the African nations that provide the fruit and the coffee and all those essence, so that some bureaucrat can say that's the way the banana should bend. Otherwise, everything else is substandard. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That is the sound of an EU man seething alongside his fresh-faced Irish consort, head of the Irish government, the same nation that after failing to vote correctly for their EU masters were invited again to think again, until such time as their banks were so bust that there was only one way they could go. First, they got pumped with the boom to end all booms, and now they are owned by a new master. I love the Irish. I'm gutted for them. They lived under the master of the royal crown who did uncalculable sins to the Irish. And unfortunately, they have swapped one master for another. And let me tell you, that master will be no better. They should be seeking their liberty, but they won't. Unfortunately, their banks are propped up and they are perpetual prisoners. But now they are the bridesmaid with the EU that will not change any nature of their deal, standing to. We insist we will not gamble with the peace. Oh, I see. England leaving the EU means all of a sudden, again, the Catholics must start shooting the Protestants and the Protestants must start shooting the Catholics. I didn't realize that. I didn't actually realize that. A political event means now you must shoot people that you were no longer shooting. Now you must kill. Now you must do all of these things. Oh, okay. Thanks for wising me up. I didn't know it was so sensitive. If that's all it takes, well, who knows? What else could have triggered it, but hasn't happened yet for any reason? The Good Friday Agreement, the EU's the big carers for pain and suffering in Ireland before Ireland was in the EU during the real troubles. I don't remember Tusk coming out and concerning and crying crocodile tears for both sides of the equation, who went into suffrage, who died as a result on both sides of the border, citizens from both parts of the world. I don't remember him being prolific in his empathy for the Irish cause. But now he's a stalwart and he will not tolerate others gambling who deserve to be in hell for lack of planning. For lack of planning on an event that wasn't going to happen. Lack of planning. It's like the weatherman telling you it's going to be sunny and bright tomorrow, and off you set off, and then it starts raining part of the way, and you're a moron for not having your raincoat. Let's say you live somewhere warm. Let's not say the UK, where invariably the weatherman is wrong and invariably it rains. But anyway, I'm finding actually great joy in this moment. But let me tell you, actually, there is no way, and I continue to assert there will be no way that I can see the UK will get scot-free, no deal. They are petrified enough. They are absolutely petrified. Their gravy train rug will be pulled. They will have to cut their cloth. And I've heard people say, oh, you know, Britain's contribution isn't much more than a few percent. Of course it is. Of course it's significantly more. Of course it's significantly more. How the hell is Germany paying for the whole thing and Britain is a few percent? In actual fact, Britain, I think it's Italy before France, because you take the CAP program in, it's absolutely empirical. France got the monetary value of that on an unheralded level. Everyone else is a taker. Everyone else is a taker. Is requiring backup. So what does that mean? Debt bombs built on all the big nations' balance sheets that are holding up a parade, a political a political structure, never an economic structure. It involves economics for sure, but it was designed politically. It is a facade, it is failing, and it is murdering the southern Mediterranean states. They should all be at a significantly lower currency rate, and it is allowing the great exporter of last resort in Germany to be, in essence, the China to America. And so Germany is the power. Economic Nazism is afoot in the EU. Tusk should focus there. What about, you're so concerned about the Irish, what about the Greek kids, the Italian kids, the Spanish kids, those between 25 and 30 that don't have work, have the highest unemployment rates? What about them? You've got a newfound love and concern for the peace of my Irish brethren who I love and admire. What about the others? What about the others? Talk to me, talk to me. You have just green eyes, or do you actually kind of not want to go there? It's a little bit awkward. It's a little bit awkward on Northern European Nazism driven through Germany, where essentially you have a presidential elect financier in Merkel, and then a team of bureaucrats. And you seethe about people that wanted their liberty-seeking people. I love liberty-seeking people. I love the people that turn bureaucrats out and undermine them and throw them on the street. And don't try to dress yourself as some great harbinger of peace in Northern Ireland and utilizing your little crowbar leverage to try shoe-handled UK. I am greatly concerned that there will still be a last-minute deal. The only Brexit is a full no Brexit. The only deal is no deal, a full no Brexit. Like and share, guys. It's appreciated if you're enjoying it. The only Brexit, and they will do everything they can to cancel it, including the Trojans within the United Kingdom's borders. And they are very, very powerful. They are very well backed. They are exceedingly deceptive. Every time you see Tony Blair, every time you see Alistair Campbell, no, you should always be exactly polar opposite to him. He is the man who said we should be in the Euro with his Mandelson go-between ear-whispering puppet puller with a hotline to the Rothschild family. He is the people, those are the people that wanted Britain in the Euro prior to the great Euro collapse. Let's be clear, these guys are Iraq, weapons of mass destruction, war. He is the peace envoy of the Middle East that sees Saudi now bombing into oblivion kids in Yemen. This is who we have, our ruling classes, and this is who must be resisted. Yes, we should peel away and put their liberty back. Can't have had the reins to all the details to have a detailed plan while electioneering just for the outcome against massive odds, a mainstream media that was hell-bent on keeping us in, bankers and large corporatocracies that benefit from the EU red tape confetti parade that gets spewed out of every window perpetually at anybody who is truly entrepreneurial. These are the nations of revulsion towards entrepreneurship that treat you as a cynical wheeler and dealer that must be taxed into oblivion from Europe, German tax rates, French tax rates that sees French stars move to ex-communist nations, Russia to escape EU leftist taxation policies. Yes, Gerard Depardieu flees to get his financial freedom out of Western Europe to Russia, an ex-communist state. Hear the absolute lunacy of that situation and know that the great left experiment is just starting here and is closing up. And they resent that you break away from their little bubble. And it's coming for America too. It's coming for America too. The great leftist policies are coming for America. Post the next crash, they will stoke resentment for anyone who's ever run a business, been successful, and has a slightly higher profile as a poppy in this poppy field. And they will tell you initially it's just for the billionaires and the mega zillionaires, just like how they brought in the super tax rate in the UK that was just for the super rich, and now cops and teachers with middle income, middle level salaries are now paying it. Servants of the people, nurses, high level sisters are paying the 40% tax rate. It's absolutely scoundrel. Thin edge of the wedge, they're going to get you to loathe on your brothers that have been successful. And remember, they are the you in a few years' time when you get your stuff together. They're going to get you to be crabs in a bucket, cheering on when the big crab gets pulled back in the bucket. Be careful what you cheer for. Be careful what you resent. The true corporatocracies, the true mega wealthy will never face. The leftist policies are coming. They're coming for your homes and property rights. They want you all turned out. They want you all turned out in ward of state, usury extracting, and tenants in your own homes. That is why they will boom and bust it, just like they did to Ireland, boomed it and bust it. So now they own you. They pump it, the liquidity and the low interest rates and the fiscal policy and the largesse and the spending. And now the Irish are owned by the EU. They will sing and dance alongside Tusk, just like he tells them goddamn to, because he is the new master along with Merkel for the Irish. And it might be cozy because they're propping your banks up. But don't ever think you have your liberty. And the ones that seek their liberty now are running, and they hate it. They hate it, they resent you for it, and they will be coming to America. They'll be coming to attack post, I suspect, a second term of Trump, and then the mega crash on the white male conservatives' watch to backlash into the Democratic Party's agenda of socialism, and socialism. Higher tax rates, massive marginal tax, increases in corporation tax, extraction, and turning wealth taxes to property taxes, making it harder and harder for you to be an owner till eventually you relent and property is owned by mega hedge funds and you are paying tenancy rates according to your income. UBI, all of these concepts are all coming out. The great left experiment is coming at you, a big swing, and it's driven by elitist bureaucrats like Tusk in the EU, like the likes of Cortez in America, de Blasio, the mayor saying all the money's in the wrong hands, Warren, capital confiscation. They will not hurt the insider billionaires that all have their cash tucked into foundations funding the open society vaccinations in Africa. Those people won't be affected, guys. That is not who it'll come for. The great policies are coming for those with middle. They will always rape the middle and the middle upper. That's who they're coming for. They want you out of your home and paying rent for them in perpetuity in the long run. Otherwise, they're going to make it damn expensive for you to do it. And these are the people that seethe when you escape their clause, their legislation, their rules. You don't want to play. WTO, World Trade Rules now, no deal Brexit, no divorce payment. Who the hell are you? We don't owe you anything. We've bought more of your goods than you've bought of ours. You owe us a goodbye golden handshake for the amount we've supported you and all your corrupt bureaucrat, wine quaffing, hardest working man, the guy who pours flipping the drunk Junkers wine so that he's shit-faced by the time it's lunchtime. Let me tell you, that's the go down in EU land, and I ain't paying for it anymore. That's it. That's me done. That's the rant. And let them see. I like it when it's warm. I'm good with my place in hell if it means saying goodbye to you, my friend. Goodbye to you and all your threats and all your no negotiations, because you're the big bully out there. You're the one trying to set our laws. You're the one that won't waver and won't move. Well, the checkbook's departing, I hope. Let me warn you, though, I don't change my view. We will not get, our probability scenario cast is you will not get the no-deal full WTO Brexit, a messy, rude, vile compromise that will not be in Britain's interest, will be rammed through. And they'll probably extend the deadline. They will push and obfuscate and delay, because as long as they delay, the original deal is still standing. And that means they're still getting money. We're still lodging up on debt for paying for all of them. Time he found some love, not only for the Irish peace process, but for the suffering of the entire southern Mediterranean, southern Europe around the Mediterranean area, Portugal, Spain, Italy, Greece, Cyprus, and all those states, and the great unemployment. That is me done. And with that, I will see you guys at Acapulco, the Dollar Vigilante. I hope to do 1 or 2 streams from there. Hope to get some interesting fellow speakers to talk to. Who'd like me to have a word with David Icke? That's got to be entertaining and very interesting. And many of the others from, the likes of Mike Maloney, if he's going to be down there, the likes of Doug Casey. Who knows who we might be able to corner and have a chat with. I'll be speaking, but also attending with great interest. So if any of you are down there, come out and see us. Come and say hi. Mexico is nice and warm. It's good preparation for my seat in hell. Love it. Okay, bye for now, kids. Play nice and share, and we'll see you on the other side. And we will also be back to some traditional market analysis, do a couple of charts, views on the traditional markets for free. And don't forget, trading isn't for everybody, but if you're interested in becoming part, pop over to our website, themarketsniper.com, and grab the free webinar. There's an offer at the end of that for learning how to trade with the HVF method and preparing for the Great Reset. That is the tone I will be taking on my speech, preparing for the Great Reset, how I think it's going to go down, reading the details in the sand, listening to what's coming through, some of which I've already alluded to here, what it means and how to position so that you can be best set when they bring the wigwam down on top of everybody's heads. Okay, until then, speak to you all and play safe and enjoy yourselves, and our Eurocrats seethe.